I do think it's worth pointing out or listening to the way that CNN kind of framed the interaction, and I think we're going to go ahead and play the video that Donald Trump actually played for the South African president. So, are you going to run it?
His best diplomatic self to this meeting, but nothing could have prepared him for this multimedia ambush that President Trump laid out with video, with printed out news stories. This was a laundry list of debunked conspiracy theories. Some South Africans are telling me this is AfriForum propaganda. AfriForum is a white Afrikaner lobby group that's considered a white nationalist organization by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Almost everything that President Trump said in the Oval Office is not true, was inaccurate, has been repeatedly debunked.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a couple things that are worth pointing out. First of all, there's the point that he was making, or the point that we started making, how this is always going to be framed as white supremacy, because that's what the left does.
Yep.
The political organizations in South Africa that are calling for the death of the white farmers and calling to push out people that own property and stuff, they're all Marxists, and they're basing their politics are based largely on anti-colonial, post-colonial theory and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and play the video, or some of the video that Trump played in the Oval Office today, so you can get a sense of what they were talking about.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yes. South African occupy land. That's who we are.
Honorable member,
want to do.
Speaker,
you can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament.
Honorable. Yes, honorable member.
Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act.
Okay, so that right there is straight out of if it's Franz Fanon's book, The Wretched of the Earth. So Franz Fanon wrote a book about decolonialism called The Wretched of the Earth, and one of the main tenets of decolonizing an area is you have to be violent. Violence is part of revolution. It's part of decolonizing, and you don't get to have decolonization without the violence.
Yeah, and revolution, nothing less, right? Like, that's the mantra that's constantly spouted by these Marxists. So earlier, like I said, in the United States, we can frame things of like, why does the left glom onto this? Why does the right glom onto this? And you can kind of see those. But when you look at a bigger global picture, you're right. All of these movements are founded in Marxism, communism, an idea of like having a collective organization of people that need to have a violent revolution to overthrow the existing structure, all of it, whether it's economic or even just the way that a government is formed. You have to have the revolution. And you see it all throughout Africa. My father's from Sierra Leone in West Africa. We had a civil war in the 90s, right? And if you actually strip it down and boil it down, guess what happens? You had a movement of Marxists, or people that were more communist aligned, and that's what you continually have happen all throughout Africa. It's not an issue of whether it's colonialism or decolonialism. It's about Marxism.
Yep.
It's about communism. And that's the reason why 80 years after basically the British Empire left and moved away from Africa, you still have the issues that you have, because they want to institute a system that is anti-human. Communism is anti-human. You cannot strip people's property and rights away and redistribute it willy-nilly. People just don't stand for it. And so you're seeing this, and that's really what's happening. So when you go back to initially what that reporter guy was saying from Nairobi, he was saying, oh, President Trump is lying. He's pushing all these conspiracies. That's their framing from a Marxist perspective, is you have to say reality and truth that you see it is a lie. Don't believe your lying eyes.
Yep.
And that's what this all comes back down to, is that this is like just communism and Marxism in a different flavor.
Yep. So I'm going to go back to some of the stuff that they were saying on the video.
Shoot to kill, Yamaza, kill the poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. To kill, no master. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. The mayor of DA in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness. Shoot!
Yeah, so, I mean, the argument that this isn't about, racially motivated retribution, I mean, I don't think that anyone can seriously make that argument.
Yeah, not in a sane world. I mean, the way that the left always tries to frame it, right, is that racism can only flow one way. If you're white, you're racist to other people, but if you're black, because of oppression or whatever, and especially in the case of South Africa, they can say, well, because of apartheid, we can't be racist. We're just simply getting our get back. And it's like, well, no, from a technical term, you are discriminating against people on the basis of their race. You are being racist. But yeah, it's what to me is the most fascinating. It's dead giveaway. He's wearing a red beret. I mean, red beret, dead giveaway, man. You're got me, bro.
You should also be very weary of the way in which much of that language has already crept into Western Marxist language and rhetoric, whether it's decolonizing math or destroying or eliminating whiteness. The worst part is there's a lot of useful idiots in colleges who don't get the full perspective from the people that are teaching these courses to them until they've been fully radicalized. And then by the time they try to explain to you what that means, they can't really understand or explain to you what it means to decolonize math other than to tell you that it's too white, right? But the problem is the language goes the whole way up. It's top down. That language works at the top of that discussion. It works all the way to the bottom when you're talking about something like whether your college classes have enough of one race or another. Just look at what they've done to colleges that don't allow enough Asian students in because they test too high.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.